good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I am in Australia, so for us here it is 8 a.m. and it is a real pleasure to be here back at the Spiritual Growth Forum. I spoke last time on a beautiful subject around our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness and health, and had such a great time and so many beautiful responses to my sharing, to my work, that I decided to come back. And Charisse was really, really excited to have me, and I'm really excited to be here. So thank you so much for those of you that are tuning in live, and to those of you that are watching this recording at some point in time. The title of my talk today is Becoming Magnetic. All right, so what does that mean? All right, let's first drop into that. So no, it doesn't mean that you're going to become, metallic and stick yourself to the fridge. Becoming magnetic, right? So that whole theory, magnets attract, as we know, or they repel, which is that counterbalance, that opposite. And to become magnetic as a human being, it means simply that, the same thing. We attract or we repel. When a human being becomes magnetic, it means that their vibration, the frequency in which they are resonating at, is a match for what they want to receive back in life. Now, this is a really interesting concept, and I'm going to dive right in. And we've got 45 minutes to talk about this. So take a pen, take some paper, and make some notes, because I'm going to share some gifts with you today, some magic with you today of how you can begin to really tap into your own magnetism. And yes, we all have it, and we all have the capacity to grow it, to nurture it, and to really operate from that place of magnetism all of the time. So if we want to become magnetic, that means we want to become the attractor for the things that we really, really, really want in life, the things that we desire, the things that we are aligned for. We want to become power attractors or super attractors, so that we have this amazing relationship with our own manifestation techniques and own ability to attract all of the good things and all of the things that we're really worthy of in life. To become magnetic means to change our frequency, our vibration, to be the same as the things that we want to call in. We all have certain frequencies that we sort of oscillate between. And we all have certain vibrational frequencies that are a real representation of who we are. So you will have heard we need to keep the vibration high. For keeping our vibration high, that means we need to have certain techniques and certain tools and certain little rituals and practices that we use daily in our life to keep our frequency up. If our frequency and vibration drops low to low density vibration, to low vibrational frequencies, we become really, really stagnant and dense and heavy, and our magnetism and our ability to attract becomes very, very low and very difficult. When we lift our vibration to higher frequencies, we become magnetic, and the things that we want start to come to us because we are living in a vibration that is the same as those things we want to call in. All right, so let's dive into this a little bit more. What do I mean by that? When we have this frequency that is high, that matches what we want, it means that we have done the groundwork to set our own energetics, to align them with that of which we want to call in. And when we do that, it becomes effortless and easeful for us to magnetize to us the things that we're aligned for. In order for this to take place, there's a few things that need to happen. we need to be able to see, and that's not always a visual thing. For some people, the seeing is more of a feeling. It's more kinesthetic. It's more of a knowing. It's less of a visualization. It's actually seeing with your mind's eye that you can do something, that you can achieve something, that you can see yourself in it, flowing with it beautifully. And the second part of that is we need to also feel as if it is already happening. So we need to be able to conjure up, excuse me, it's earlier here. We need to be able to invite in the emotion, were we to feel if it was already happening. So I'm going to give you an example. If I want to attract 30K months, I want to earn $30,000 a month. I need to be able to see myself earning $30,000 a month. And I need to be able to feel the feelings would I have if I was earning $30,000 a month. And that is all I need to be able to do, trust me, because it is all about energy. If I can see myself earning $30,000 in a month and I can feel the feelings, I can stimulate the emotions of how I would feel were I to receive that $30,000 each month, I can manifest it, because all I need to be able to do is to see it, feel it, to create it. And this is how I live my life. I live my life in the knowing that I am magnetic. I live my life in the knowing that I can manifest whatever I want. I can manifest the life of my dreams. And I've been doing that for the last 25 years in my successful business, in a journey. I have manifested things that I have been told by numerous people, peers, and teachers, and guides, and coaches, and mentors are impossible. I have been told so many times in my 25 years of business that something that I can't do something, or that I won't be able to achieve it, or I won't be able to do that full time, or I'll have to get a part-time job, or you can't only work with meditation, and you can't only work with yoga or coaching, or etc. I have manifested exactly what I want through these techniques of making myself magnetic to my ideal opportunity. Now, it might sound simple, right? You want to be able to see yourself earning that $30,000, and you want to be able to feel the feelings where you're earning it. The problem is that we are human beings, and we are often accumulating or have accumulated blockages, stories, old paradigms, trauma, old behaviors that block the pathways from this being a simple method. So yes, it sounds simple, and many people will tell you it is, but the truth is most human beings need to do some work to be able to get themselves to the point of magnetism. Because we have old emotional trauma, we have old patterning, we have lineage that we've taken beautiful and not beautiful things from. We have our ancestry, we have the tribal imprint, the blueprint of which we came from. We have all of these old spiritual paradigms and samskaras, the things that came before in the past lives, that block us from actually truly, really believing it to be possible. So what many people do when they are working on becoming magnetic or working on manifesting successfully is they are playing with a visualization of seeing themselves have something, and they're working with the feeling, but their true feeling is telling them something else, or their true vision is telling them something else, like this is not possible. This is too hard. This only works for others. This won't work for you. You don't deserve this. You're not worthy of this. This is everyone else's stories. You don't belong here, etc. All of these blockages and imbalances that actually keep us away from the magnetism because we don't truly believe that we are capable of doing something. So if we'll go back to this 30K reference, I'm using this just to keep it simple. I will give you different examples later. But if we go back to this 30K reference, if I can see myself having 30K, and I might do that by, seeing myself showered with money. I have Lakshmi on the back wall here, and I have her a lot in my home. She's the goddess of wealth and abundance. And I work with these deities to support me, and I visualize money coming to me, and I visualize my bank accounts full, and all of those things. And then when I try to generate the feeling of this happening, that there's glimpses of that, or maybe it's not there at all, because actually the feeling is, this is not possible. It's too hard. You can't have this. You deserve it. You don't deserve this. You are not made for this kind of money, blah, 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 all of these stories. And that true feeling that is coming up for me that I believe to be true, which is not true, but I believe it to be true, that is actually the energy that I am going to infiltrate my manifestation process with. And my magnetism will actually do the opposite. The two magnets can either attract or they can repel. If I am infusing my process of becoming magnetic with energy that is saying something different about what I'm trying to visually create, so it's saying it's not possible, you can't do it, you're not worthy of it, then I'm actually going to repel it. I'm going to push it away, because I am not in flow energetically with what I'm trying to call in. I cannot become magnetic to my ideal circumstance if I don't believe that it can be possible. And this is a piece that I think is really missing a lot when it comes to learning about manifestation and magnetism. Often teachers and guides and gurus are just telling you what to do. Practice this manifestation technique, see it and feel it, and then, go ahead and you can manifest whatever you want. What's missing here often is the work that needs to take place in order to heal the trauma that is telling you something different, or the energy healing, or the mindset coaching, or the journaling, or the receiving of, some kind of stream of consciousness from an external source. Maybe you're going to receive Reiki or kinesiology, or work with a counselor, or work with a coach, or do some Bowen therapy or some craniosacral. Whatever you're going to do, you're going to do something, that is really focusing on clearing those energetic blocks and clearing the pathways that are actually stopping the energy from flowing toward the direction of magnetism manifestation. There is a piece where we have some work to do that is often bypassed altogether. I had a cold smoothie before my tea, and I shouldn't have, because it's a bit cool this morning. So I'm feeling that coldness in my voice box, if that makes sense to you. So what we really have to do then, if we're finding that manifestation and magnetism is not working for us, is we really need to take a few steps back and have a look at what could be blocking this process from working. What could be in the way of us becoming magnetic? What could be stopping us from attracting the life of our dreams? What could be in the way in terms of the pathways flowing freely towards manifesting this aligned consciousness? There is something in the way. There is a belief system, a limited belief, old trauma, old patterning, something that is stopping us from truly believing it to be possible. So this is what we have to address when our manifestations and becoming magnetic processes are not working, is we need to rewind and go, okay, there's something blocking this from working. We have to be ready to acknowledge, okay, I don't truly believe this. And if I don't truly believe it, I can't attract it. And if I can't see it, I can't attract it. So then I need to work on the processes that really support me in making this process effective by actually clearing out and doing the healing that is necessary and the focused work that is necessary for me to be free enough in my pathways that I'm actually able to see this happening, feel this happening, and then attract it. All right. So to become magnetic, we must have done or be doing the work to heal our own trauma patterns and the blockages and imbalances in our body that are stopping us from believing it to be actually true. Because the way that we manifest is by seeing something happening and believing it's happening and feeling the way we would feel if it happens. That is all we need to do, and the universe will take care of the rest. If we don't truly believe it's possible and we can't feel the emotion, were we to have it, then the universe is confused and cannot co-collaborate with you appropriately on what you want to attract, because it is receiving a mixed message. So it's like, sitting here and saying, oh, I can see myself having 30K months. And then your feeling body, your emotional body is going, no, that's not possible. You can't have that. So then there's these two really mixed messages. The universe is like, oh, okay, all right, she can see it, but she can't feel it. So that's not clear. There's no coherence at the base of this frame. Coherence is that primary principle when we want to manifest something, when we want to become magnetic to our ideal opportunity. The very first thing we need at the bottom is to be coherent, to be completely clear and have clarity exactly on what we're calling in. And this brings me to another part of my sharing here today, is that to become magnetic, you really need to know what you want to become magnetic to. What do you want to attract? It's got to be clear. It's got to be crystal, like really, really clear. You need to know. You can't go, oh, but I want this, oh, but I might want this, and some days I want this. And, I work with people closely as a transformational coach and energetic master, soul guide. And I work with so many people who have so many mixed messages for themselves. They're not tuned into their soul completely. They're governed by their emotional body and mental body, and they often dominate and confuse the situation, and they literally can want something different every day. Well, this is not a clear message to the universe. You cannot become magnetic to something when you don't know what it is. So this coherent framework at the bottom is all so important. It's so important to be able to go, I know what I want. That's what it is. And to get clarity around that, tune into your own energetics. Some people will get clarity around what they really want and get coherent by writing in a journal, by journaling. Others might be dancing outside in nature. Others might be meditating really silently. There's so many different techniques that we may use, and you can read about a lot of these in my book, The Path to Life, where there's so many different techniques to use to connect to your own wisdom. But to get coherent means that there is a really clear message at the beginning. When we have that clear message at the beginning, we're able to operate from there. The universe and I and you, we're all able to co-collaborate to create it because it's clear what it is. We know what it is, and then we see ourselves really clearly holding that vision. And in addition to clearly seeing us holding the vision, we feel the vision. So we want to create the emotion, create the feeling. There's a couple of ways to do this. Some people will remember previous emotions and recall them. So they might remember gratitude, which really lifts and helps you feel really good. They might have to do it that way initially by remembering previous situations where they have felt really emotionally heightened and uplifted and, in those higher frequencies of love and gratitude. And they might call those in and feel them and then start to try to relate them to the specific situation they're working with. And others will have a stronger capacity to be able to imagine it happening and imagine sense or create how they would feel. So it is different for different people because it depends how we operate. But we really need to be able to captivate the essence of that energy were it to be happening. And when we can feel that emotion, that's what it feels like to have 30K months. It's so easeful. I feel amazing. I can have whatever I want. I can treat my family. I can pay for my family to fly over here. I can support others with my wealth. And we really tap into the feeling of that. We're able to create it. When this is messy, there's no coherence at the frame. It's hard to see. It's hard to feel. We know something is blocking the pathways. And that's when we have to step back. All right, I need to do some work here. And we might need to figure out exactly what's blocking the pathways and go there. We might just do some high vibrational techniques to dissolve the blockages in the pathways. We might work with a coach, a healer, a guide. We might work with journaling, with practice, with dance, with meditation, with chanting, with sound. There is a million ways to dissolve negative energy. That's all it is. It is an accumulation of negative energy that is blocking the pathways in your body and blocking perhaps the chakras, making them imbalanced. You've got 72,000 energy channels moving through your body, 7 major chakras and loads of tiny chakras. All of these chakras need to be oscillating and rotating at the correct frequency and rhythm. And all of the 72,000 pathways need to be clear for energy to pass through. So that's a lot, and sometimes as human beings, of course, they're going to get blocked. They're going to get imbalanced, and we're not going to be able to create that feeling and that vision that we really need to create and connect to in order to become magnetic to that particular situation. So there is a real calling here to become really aware of yourself in your process, because what I see, sadly, is people being told and taught how to manifest or how to become magnetic, and they're following this process every day and they're hearing crickets. Nothing is happening. Nothing is changing. And they're getting down on themselves and sad and disheartened, hard on themselves and feeling like failures, which is a word I don't like, because they're actually not taught that if there are blocks there and they're sitting there creating this vision that's not really working that well, and then they're unable to actually feel what they need to feel, they're actually infusing their real feelings with this whole process. And then the real feelings could be literally repelling the ideal situation from coming to you. Because if we are programming this whole concept with, I can't have this, it's not going to work for me, then it won't work for you, because that's where your energy is going. So the law of vibration, we put out a vibration and we receive that vibration back. The law of attraction, we attract what we put our energy into. And when we attract what we put our energy into, that means that wherever your energy is going in the dominant way, so even if you can see yourself with 30K months, but if the dominant energetics are aligned towards not believing it to be possible, then that is where your energy will go. So that is what you are going to attract. Even if you're sitting there going, oh, but I'm doing positive thinking and I've swallowed so many positive self-help books, and I'm manifesting daily because I'm saying this affirmation time and time and time and time again. That's not going to work if you don't believe it to be true. And you can't just believe it to be true because someone tells you to. You have to do the work in order to change the patterning, increase the vibration, dissolve any blockages so that you can lift your vibration away from those old neural pathways and patterns that are holding you in these belief patterns and negative programs that are leading you away from your true service and your true life story and your true alignment and your true heart connection. So I'm sort of really, really rewiring things a little bit here, especially from traditional manifestation techniques. I'm really encouraging you that if you cannot feel the feelings of this particular thing already happening, then there is work to be done. And this is where you need to actually tune in to what work needs to be done and what process you can follow and what steps you can take in order to start to heal the story that is there, that is telling you something very, very different. We can only become magnetic to something when we are an absolute vibrational match to receive it. So that means every single cell of your being needs to know that that is already yours. That is already happening. And this is something that takes practice. We have to know on every single cell of our body and believe with every single piece of our being on all layers that we are aligned for that thing that we are wanting to become magnetic to. And that is a tough call for many, because there is a work that needs to be done to heal the emotional body and to balance the mental body in order to become a complete vibrational match on every cell of your being. So we have to do the work. And this is the thing. It's like if you have a manifestation technique or a becoming magnetic technique and you do it a day or two and nothing happens, well, that's because you're not doing it enough. You've got to commit to it. This could be part of your work that you need to do to change the old neural pathways that are there. Because if there's an old neural pathway or a story that's telling you that you can never get that relationship that you want, and you are not good enough to have a marriage, or you're not worthy of having a relationship, then that is the energy you're sending out to the universe. So that is what you're going to receive back. So your role there would be to change your own belief about what you are worthy of when it comes to a relationship. And that means changing the neural pathways. To change neural pathways, we have neural pathways, these pathways that say certain things to us and that have built certain programs and belief systems within our body. And unfortunately, they're always there, but we can make them obsolete by building new ones, right? So if one neural pathway is saying, you're not good enough to have a relationship, we need to build new neural pathways that tell us that that is bullshit. And yes, we are more than worthy of having the best, most aligned, high vibrational relationship. And we need to reinforce that pathway by saying that to ourselves a lot, writing it a lot, receiving healing that is healing the trauma that has created that neural pathway in the first place. These things are going to lift our vibration into a new place of knowing, a new place of knowing, a place of a vibrational frequency that is higher, so we can transcend these lower vibrational neural pathways that keep us stuck in old paradigms and behaviors that are harmful and limiting. So can you see what I'm getting at here? It's the process of making sure that you keep yourself in a place of high vibration, that you do things to lift your vibration to a frequency where you are always magnetic. And so to be always magnetic is always having that, oh, I know I can do that. And I know I'm worthy of that. And I can feel that happening. And this is what I would feel like were it to be happening. I can drum those emotions up and feel that. Then we manifest it, because that's how the universe is designed to co-collaborate with us. The universe is always waiting to work in our favor. And we just need to trust that that is true. The universe is never against us, but there are certain laws and principles that the universe requires in order to know exactly what to do. We need to be coherent with what we want. We need to state that clearly. We need to see that happening. We need to feel how it feels were it to be happening. And we need to commit to the process regularly of manifesting it and becoming magnetic to it. And we need to do that energy work every single day. Now, I do my energy work and my manifestation techniques and my magnetism practices every single day. And no, it's not a massive effort. Like a lot of people will say, oh my God, where do you have time? How do you have time? You can do it in such a short time. And also I have time because I prioritize it, right? This is the thing about time. We all have time to do whatever we align ourselves to do. If we believe time is a restraint, then it just means we're not prioritizing that thing, right? We're not prioritizing it. So when someone says to me, I don't have time, I actually hear, I'm not prioritizing that. And that's a good reframe for yourself. So if you hear yourself saying that, I don't have time, it takes too much time, there isn't enough time, then there's an abundance of time. Remind yourself of that, and remind yourself that it simply means you're not prioritizing that thing. So switching that mindset, prioritizing the time to keep your vibration high is a no-brainer if you want to become magnetic to your ideal circumstances, situations, scenarios, and opportunities. If we want to live the best possible life, and I'm just putting examples in here, but that might be having the most amazing relationship, having an incredible family, having an incredible community and network, a great place to live, the ideal role, the ideal clients, the ideal profession, the multi-million dollar business, whatever it is, if we really, really want that, we need to keep our vibration high enough to receive that, because those things are high vibrational energies. And if we need to be a vibrational match to them, we need to be of high vibrational energy too. What does it mean when you're not? It means you've got blockages in your energy channels. The chakras are not oscillating or rotating at the frequency that they could be. It means that we are traumatized. It means that we are blocked. It means that we are stagnant. It means that we have various different, perhaps behavioral issues going on, and addictions and mindsets, so many million things. It means that we are vibrating at a frequency that is fairly low and doesn't have the capacity to really attract good things. So we could be even in that framework karmically, because the law of karma states you get what you receive and you receive what you give. All right. So you get what you receive and you receive what you give, and so on. So you could be actually attracting some quite harmful, negative things if the vibration is very low, because whatever you're putting your energy into is coming back to you. All right. So if we're putting our energy into low vibrational things and harmful behaviors and addictions and stress and anxiety and anger and not exercising and not moving and not eating well, we're attracting all of that stuff back to us. If we switch from that and move into higher vibrational practices, exercising daily, moving the body, meditating, journaling, eating well, surrounding ourselves with really great people, receiving energy healing, having a coach, having a mentor, reading great books, listening to podcasts, watching great forums like the Spiritual Growth Forum, then we are actually lifting our vibration, because every time we take action that is inspired to move us into the direction of a higher perspective, then we shift and we expand. And then we shift and then we expand. And then we shift and we expand. And each time we shift, we're healing, we're releasing, we're letting go, we're surrendering, but we're also opening to something new. And when we want to become magnetic, we need to expand to allow it to happen. The energy we talked about earlier, where you don't actually believe you're capable of it, that's retraction. That's not expansion. You're going, yeah, I want it, but no, I can't have it. Yeah, I want it, but no, I can't have it. Yeah, I want it, but I'm not good enough for it. So each time you're retracting. Whereas if we are, okay, I can see it, and I'm expanding into it. I'm expanding into it. I'm expanding to it. That expansion comes from the techniques that you put in place to lift your vibration and that you commit to on a daily basis. And in Sanskrit, we have this word abhyasa, and abhyasa means every day. It doesn't mean some days. It doesn't mean once a week. It doesn't mean every now and then. It means every day. Abhyasa relates to practices every day. Sadhana in Sanskrit relates to daily practice. Sadhana relates to a daily practice that you commit to because you know it makes you the best version of yourself you can possibly be. And a lot of us in the West have got into these habits of, but I don't like it, or it takes too long, or it's too hard, or it's not like joyful or whatever. And we get really caught up in the feeling of it. But that's because we're feeling already at a low frequency. So we haven't actually connected to what it feels like to be at a higher frequency. So we have to commit to something that is maybe a challenge for us for a while to feel the benefits of it. In Sanskrit, we also call that tapas. Tapas means something that maybe you don't want to do, that challenges you, but you do it because the outcome is of the highest vibrational frequency for you and is going to change your life. Tapas could be you want strong triceps and chest muscles, and the best way to do that is push-ups. You don't want to do the push-ups, but you want the strong triceps and chest, so you do the push-ups anyway. That is a tapas. You do it. You don't like doing it. You don't really want to do it, but you do it. And this is sometimes the little bit of challenge that we have to go through to actually make something habitual. So if we have a high vibrational practice we're going to do daily, such as breathwork practice where we're going to breathe a certain way for a certain length of time every day, it could be challenging in the beginning to do it and to be committed. But once we get into the flow of it and we do it regularly, we start to feel the benefits of it. We feel better, we're healthier, we are more energized, we're attracting differently. Then we see the benefits. So then we start climbing, and the more we climb, the more magnetic we become, because we are literally becoming attractors to our ideal situations, because there's no density in the stream, there's no density and heaviness in the field that is blocking the magnetism that is, in fact, your divine birthright. So becoming magnetic, all right, you need to clear your pathways to become magnetic to your ideal opportunities. And you need to be able to see clearly with coherence what they are and know what you want and what you're going for. This is how you manifest or become magnetic, whatever you want to call it. When it's coherent, write it down or dance it out, whatever works for you, but make it clear. After that, visualize, use affirmations, write down, talk, see in your mind's eye yourself doing that particular thing that you want to become magnetic to. See it, write it, affirm it. After that, in meditation, I feel is the best way, or dancing or moving some way, feel the emotion were it to be already happening. Imagine it already happening. How would you feel? And captivate that feeling and feel it regularly. Then you can and will successfully become magnetic to that particular opportunity. In order to make this possible, you need daily high vibrational techniques that clear your body of trauma, blockage, and imbalance. The things that hold you back are the old stories, negative patterns, old behaviors, limiting beliefs, trauma from the past that block your pathways and stop it from feeling true for you. Do the work there to heal that. You can do this with a coach. You can do this with me. Feel free to hit me up. I know that the beautiful Charisse is going to put my contact details up very soon. And please do get in touch with me, because I will work with your energetics in order to heal what is there with you. So I'm not a healer. I believe we're all facilitators of healing. I will facilitate you to heal the trauma that is blocking the pathways from you becoming magnetic. I will work with you individually from an energy healing perspective, from a somatic perspective, from a transpersonal perspective, a spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional collective perspective, in order to allow you to become magnetic, because you have done the work to clear out what is blocking you from being magnetic in the first place. So I can work with you, and there are numerous people all over this world and through this forum who I'm sure can work with you too. When you want to become magnetic, you have a little bit of groundwork to do. You need to stick to the processes daily to keep that vibration high. If the vibration is high, you have the capacity to become magnetic, and then you need to hold true to that structure and that technique of seeing it, feeling it, believing it, and staying committed to that process. When you do that with free-flowing energy in your body, you can become magnetic to the life of your dreams and whatever you call into your life. One last thing I'm going to drop in before I know I've only got 5 minutes left. Watch your language. Your language is so key when it comes to becoming magnetic. If you have language in there that is, it's too hard, I can't afford, it's too expensive, I'm not good enough. And this could be language that is outward, but it could also be language that you bring inward by thinking about it in terms of yourself. We need to change that. So you must create the opposite. You must start creating opposite language and reinforcing that, because the old neural pathways are going to keep dragging you into the trauma. So please do reach out to me, and I would be happy to answer any specific questions that you have on the process of becoming magnetic, and happy to talk to you about your individual blocks and individual barriers that are blocking this from being true anyway. I don't want any more people struggling with manifestation processes, paying thousands and thousands of dollars for manifestation techniques, because they are not working for you if you are not healing your energetics and aligning your energetics for success in this area. So we need to align our energetics for success in becoming magnetic first before the process will take place. So please, please do reach out to me and I will be happy to support you in this process. Magnetism begins from your vibration. When you have that vibration, sending it out to the universe, knowing exactly what you want, believing it to be true, seeing it happening, you're going to magnetically attract it back to you. And that will continue, and it will just grow and become more and more potent the more that you practice, but just making sure that you revisit any little blockages along the way that are preventing that from being a true story for you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. And I would love, love, love to hear from you. I'm in Australia, and yeah, it's a beautiful part of the world to live. Originally, I'm from the UK, but I'm in Australia nowadays. You can find me on my socials, my website, Instagram, etc. I've published 4 books. You can grab those on Amazon, but do send me a message and say hi, as I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much, beautiful people.